That kind of tells you everything you need to know about how much I actually enjoy vlogging. The threat of not actually putting videos up was enough to make me pull my finger out and do basically all the editing inside of 24 hours. So, back to business as usual. I'm heading off to grab Jasper from preschool. Then we've got a few post office related errands to run. And then I'm hoping a little bit later somebody's going to come over and talk to us about solar. But first, Jasper. Did you have a good day at preschool today?
Nah.
You seem a bit tired. We're going home in a minute, Jasper. Post office first. Yes, I've been meaning to post that tray we did that sort of competition on, and it's finally got to the point where I just have got to do it. So that's what we're doing. That's all done now. So tray's winging its way off to a happy new owner. There was an article on the BBC about people putting their kids on social media. I think it's terrible. Really, really awful. I mean, who would put their children on social media? He doesn't seem to mind anyway. We're gonna go home. And then this guy's gonna turn up and tell us whether it's worth us putting solar panels on our roof. I'll tell you one thing's for sure. I can't believe we don't have enough roof space up there. I mean, that is some substantial roofage, and it's all facing south. And we have an electric car, so surely we use loads of power too. Well, reasonable amounts. I guess it all just depends on how expensive the finance is. Slight change of plan this evening, because the solar people aren't coming. I think there was some confusion about the day, which is annoying. What that does mean though is I get to scratch my going to the cinema itch, because I haven't been to the cinema for ages. And Sophie's putting Jasper to bed, so I get a bit of a day off. Yes. Well, evening off. Quite a fun movie. I went to see Valerian. I mean, okay, it was quite a fun movie if you forgive it the appallingly corny attempt at romance. Wow, movie could have done without that bit. Other than that, you know, I quite like a bit of space-based escapism. I particularly like it when you get to drive home in a Tesla, because it's like you watch a movie about space and then you go and get into your own private spaceship. It reminds you of just how futuristic that car really is. And hopefully tomorrow I'll actually get to have this solar quote thing, find out if it's going to be economically viable for us, which I sincerely hope it is, because if it isn't, I'm not sure who it would be viable for. Thanks, Soph. Well, good morning everybody. I'm gonna start off the day with talking about the Chevy Bolt. Consumer Reports has just done a range comparison between a Chevy Bolt and the Tesla Model S 75D. Well, they found that the Chevy Bolt would do 250 miles on a charge, and the Model S 75D would do 235, 15 miles less. Some people would probably say that's not any kind of a massive surprise, and it wasn't a massive surprise to me either, I suppose, because the Model S is a much bigger, heavier car than the Bolt, and the battery sizes are not that dissimilar, 60 versus 75. I did also wonder whether Consumer Reports had done a more sort of EPA style test with sort of city driving and stuff like that, which would tend to favour a smaller, lighter car than a bigger, heavier one. Turns out no, they have not done that. They were just sat on their test track at 65 miles an hour until the battery was done. They did turn off the climate control, which isn't necessarily the right thing to do from the Tesla's point of view. Maybe that makes a difference, more of a difference for the Bolt than it does for the Model S. Certainly I drove this car around with the climate control going, and unlike when I had my old Nissan Leaf, I turn the climate control off on this, I don't even notice it. I'm sure it makes a difference, but it is not noticeable. I would have thought the Tesla would do a little bit better, to be honest, with the dual motors. You know, the irony is, even with the longer range of the Bolt, I'd still take a Tesla 75D, at least in the US. What makes it ironic is that in the UK, I may well be tempted by the Bolt, because we've got decent CCS chargers dotted throughout the country. So getting around would be no kind of an issue. Of course, they don't actually sell the Bolt in the UK. Nice to go for a little ride. Feels like it's been ages. Because it has been ages. Do you hope this solar chap turns up later today? Because I've got loads of questions. Some of the questions are kind of specific, you know, to our actual house. Like, how much weight can the roof take, do you think? That sort of thing. Can't find that answer online. It's now time to get Jasper from preschool. And today is his last day. That's right, for the next month, I think it is, something like that. It's just gonna be me and him at home. Well, we're not gonna be at home. We're gonna go out, we're gonna do a load of fun stuff. No idea what yet. Of course, having a car that's free to drive around does somewhat help with that. I just can't believe how quickly he's growing up though. I mean, he's gonna be going to proper school in such a short period of time. Wow. He'll be driving before you know it. So are you feeling like a bigger boy already?
Yeah. Go inside and have the biscuit.
No, not having a biscuit straight away, Jasper.
Dad, I want to watch some television.
Maybe, we'll see.
I want to watch.
Yeah, so there is an upside to Jasper not doing preschool anymore. It kind of frees me, because whilst he's going to preschool, I'm stuck in the local area. And he's been doing 5 days a week recently, so it's meant that I can't really go anywhere. And I like going places, so you can look forward to me going places a bit more over the next month. Time for one of those runs, and the good news is, I really feel like I'm actually starting to make some progress with running. Finally. I've upped my running distance to 10k, but I'm probably not going to do it every day. Whew. Well, there's a massive surprise. It is now 7:30, no sign of any solar quoting people. Maybe they meant next Thursday. It's really annoying because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to ascertain the feasibility of it. I want solar panels. I'm even willing to contribute a little bit more money towards the project than, say, not putting anything in at all. And basically what I'm looking for here is a balance, right? We've got a fairly large electricity bill because we have a car that we run on as well as a house. So definitely it's a bigger bill than a lot of people. What I need to do is I need to save enough money off our electricity bill that more or less balances against the cost of financing the solar panels. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't mind if it's going to cost us a little bit of extra money, you know, say like maybe 100 quid a month or something extra. If it's going to be a huge amount more, then we can't afford to do it. So I need some questions answered, and I can't answer those questions without knowing specifically about the installation costs. It's not so much the cost of the panels, it's the cost of getting them up there, because our roof is quite high off the ground. I think from a sunlight point of view it'll be good. We also have quite a lot of roof and it almost all faces south, albeit with a little bit that sort of juts out and will shade some of it. So there should be quite a lot of potential. I also have a question mark about grade 2 listings, because although this house isn't grade 2 listed, the one opposite is, so that might cause an issue. But this is the thing, I have a load of questions and no answers. So I guess I'd still have a load of questions and no answers. On the upside, Sophie's coming home with pizza, which is brilliant because at the moment I've eaten something like 1,300 calories so far today and I've burnt over 3,000. Oh, wow. The wonders of Fitbit, which means I can have a whole Domino's pizza and it's totally guilt-free. Yes! Hopefully Soph will get back to that in a minute. Fantastic! I'll do something else though, just occurred to me. Consumer Reports have said that they're sort of used to Tesla underperforming against the EPA rated range, and conversely the Bolt overperforming against that range. I wonder what Model 3 will do. For that matter, I actually wonder what Model 3's EPA range is going to be, because I don't think they've released that yet. So that'll be exciting. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next instalment of my daily vlog. Bye! Wow! You were celebrating Jasper's last day of preschool.
It's not good to celebrate with pizza.
Oh, I think it is.
Fish. Anyway, this is for you.
Okay. I'm not complaining. Thank you. Wow. You might have trouble giving him something that isn't that.